All right, someone had asked on the forums about how to PPF these blades. So I'm going to show you how. I own a shop that does PPF and window tint, ceramic coating. So these blades are kind of difficult, primarily just because this is the corner you really care about, because that's what's going to hit things. So it's really important you get it to lay down and protect that corner. So first thing you do is clean it with alcohol. This is 6 ounces of alcohol, and then the rest of the 32 ounces is just filled up with distilled water. So I've got it nice and clean. Now I'm going to take some soap solution. That is 2 milliliters of baby shampoo, and the rest of the 32 ounces is made up of just some water, again, distilled water. So first thing we do, we've got a bulk piece of film right here. I like doing these bulk because, well, I just do. I think the patterns are cut out perfectly, but there's a little more difficulty in getting them to stretch. So the first thing you do, get everything nice and wet, lay down your pattern, and then kind of think about where you're going to do most of your stretching. For me, I'm going to do most of my stretching right here. So I'm going to start by just getting this kind of locked in up here. Best way to do that is a little bit of alcohol. And once we do that, we take our squeegee and, again, with a wet top. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking that alcohol and I'm making sure I drag all of it out. So every bit of that alcohol is out of there. If you don't get the alcohol out immediately, you're going to end up with some really unsightly unsightly marks. And the problem with that is going to be it's black, so you see everything. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray some more water under there because it dried out just a little bit while I was talking. And then what I'm going to do is spray some alcohol on both the PPF and on the corner, because I really want this to lock down when I stretch it. So now that the alcohol is there, I get the top wet again, and I'm going to pull and stretch just a little bit on this corner, right to there. And once I get that corner stretched, I hold it, and I'm getting this corner locked down. Notice this is still up here. That's okay. I'm primarily just concerned with this edge because that's what we want protected. Once I hold that for a potato, I don't have to hold it much longer. I can now squeegee the back side of it, which of course we want to stick. And then I can spray some more water in here, which we're going to squeegee out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a little harder squeegee and make sure that we get all of this stuff out. I'm going to tractor this, meaning I'm pushing with a little bit of an edge, and it looks like everything's coming out quite nicely. So because there's a little bit of tension in there with extra film, I'm putting alcohol in to lock it, and I'm going to stretch this just a little bit as we pull. All right, I'm not happy with that, so I'm actually going to lift that. So we lift that. If you lift it right away, you're able to do so without making any errors. Which I just did. So I'm going to continue to tractor this to get this to lay down the way I want it to. And again, once you get it to lay down, you can always lock in the edges with alcohol. So right here, I'm definitely going to lock that in. I've got all this. You can kind of feel if there's any water left in there, which there's not. And then I want this part locked in. So I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol there. Be careful when you're doing alcohol because the adhesive wants to lock extra aggressively. So you can end up with a squeegee mark anywhere you put your squeegee really hard. So you kind of blend it in to tractor it, and that's it. So that blade is done. It looks good. You can take your microfiber towel and rub it off, and that way you can kind of see what it looks like, and that's a good wrap. So up here in the edges, I'm just going to put a little more alcohol down, and then eventually I'll just trim that off.